My old Aunt Nellie. She's always on her own. But I know she still cares for everyone. My mum told me old age and solitude go hand in hand. By the way, what is solitude? Perhaps Her Royal Highness Princess Bossy Jr. could tell me. She is older than me, isn't she? Nope, she is drawing a blank. How about my cousin Batty? I am afraid he's too. Actually, I have never seen Batty on his own for longer than a few minutes. He has his mum and two bigger brothers by his side most of the time. I suppose he probably knows less than Bossy Jr. on that matter. And Mickey? Forget about him, he's only 10 days old. I guess we're just babies, and I can't see us ever being far from Mum. Hold on, I just remember there is an exception among us babies. Someone whose mum isn't seen by their side most of the time. And there he is. My cousin Knotty. He's either alone or with some of my older aunts. Like today, he is with Auntie. I can't imagine what it's like if Mum isn't by my side. You know, Mum is my whole world. I know wherever I go, whatever I do, I can always fall back on my mum. She is the only one who will always put up with me, and still love me. Knotty's babysitting aunts tolerate him like Mum does with me. Even if they do, they are still not his mum. I know because Knotty still cries for her, all the time. I suppose my cousin Knotty is the only one qualified enough to tell me what solitude is. No one can replace my mum. I can't imagine anyone who can put up with me like this. Can anyone indeed? Oi, what have you put in your milk this time, Mum? My eyes are beginning to cross once again. I have to hold out. I have to step up my game as I ain't the little one anymore. Time to get up and about. Sugar, help me, Mum, I can't seem to get back down. That is the trick though. Right, time to check on Mickey again. Perhaps Aunt Lizzie would let me play with his son this time. Mum is always there for me. Thanks for the lift, Mum. So there's Mickey. How do I get over to the other side? Once again, something just screwed up for me. I just can't seem to get on Aunt Lizzie's good side. And so that's another failed attempt again. I suppose I'm still a long way from making house calls myself. I still can't walk or climb well. But at least Mum is still there for me. I have to wait. Either I make it first or Mickey will. And that day probably is coming sooner than I think. If Mickey could climb. Another week away, perhaps. Who's that? My cousin Lanley, Aunt Lancy's daughter. What is she up to? Mickey is mine. Mickey's mum? Lanley's mum? And my mum are all sitting close together. Imagine if I could jump that far. Should I try it? Probably not a good idea. Let me think it over. Bad idea. My eyes are beginning to cross again. Sugar, I think I am on the way out.
Hello, Dopey. You are having a nap.
Buddha, I can't believe it myself. It just happened in a sec.
Don't worry. You were thinking over something you have little control of. It's good to sit back and chill out. By the way, weren't you thinking to ask your cousin Knotty about something earlier on?
Oh yes, Buddha, but I'm asleep now and I don't know where Knotty is. Perhaps another time.
Hey there. No worries. Remember, we can do OBE together. I'm going to show you something. It'll give you some food for thought and perhaps answer your question too.
Buddha, isn't that Knotty with Aunt Auntie?
Indeed, it is.
So Aunt Gypsy isn't back for my cousin Knotty yet. Hasn't it been going on long enough? Thank goodness. There she is, Aunt Gypsy. If I were Knotty, I would have gone crazy. Come on, Aunt Gypsy, get Knotty. Buddha, why isn't Auntie handing Knotty over to Aunt Gypsy?
You see, Dopey, it's natural for all sentient beings to want to hold on to the things they cherish. And in your Auntie's case, she's been longing to have another baby. But back, Knotty will be, Auntie knows all too well what is right or wrong. Dopey, no good things last forever. One does the right thing to let go when it's time. For Knotty and his mum, Gypsy, they are still working out their differences in expectations of each other. Knotty is never alone.
But Buddha, I still don't get it.